Hi there, this is Chris from MoneyHub, and this video explains the differences between the four Platinum credit cards that earn Airpoints Dollars. So currently, there's four issuers that provide these cards. There's Amex, there's ANZ, there's Kiwibank, and there's Westpac. And what happened in 2022 was that the banks announced that they're going to decrease the amount of Airpoints earned for every, say, $100 earned, or every sort of dollar that you spend. And what's happened now in going into 2023 is that that has been finalized, and the banks have certainly readjusted the earnings rates. What hasn't been readjusted is the Amex rate. What I'll do is I'll talk about that later with regards to how they work and how that's different to how the ANZ, Kiwibank, and Westpac work. But the purposes of this guide is really just to explain first, first of all, what the differences are between the cards. So if we go straight down to our table here, we've granularized it all into four different cards, which is what's offer, and then we've separated sort of the table by earning rates, and then status points, and then card fees, and all things like that. So back in the day, there were lots of benefits with these ANZ cards and the Kiwibank cards. You'd be able to get Coro Club vouchers, you'd get all these sort of different perks. They've all been scrapped. Now I think the best driver to look at is really what you learn from spending the money. So for the Amex Platinum, then it's $59 is going to earn you one Airpoint dollar, whereas for ANZ as well as for Westpac, it's going to be $110 to earn the same Airpoints dollar, and for Kiwibank it's going to be 115, which is pretty much double what the Amex rate is. The second thing is the status credits. If that does interest you, then because a lot of people want to renew their gold or their gold elite, and this is a sort of helpful way to be able to do it. And there are different rates for every money spent, and that's just worth also considering. But we see that the biggest driver really is for these cards is the amount of money it takes to earn one Airpoint dollar. We see that there's a big difference between the four. So what the annual fees are, they will change from time to time. These are the current ones when we publish this video. But there's a whole bunch of different things like in terms of benefits, which some cards have. So the lounge benefits, for example, that is provided by Amex, where they'll provide you 4 lounge visits per year, and 2 of them will be in Australia and 2 of them will be in Auckland with some of their partner lounges. And so as I previously said, the cards used to offer, or some of the cards used to offer, these Coro vouchers after you spent $20,000 or $30,000. That's been scrapped. First of all, they were capped at I think 4 per year, and then it was gone. It was done away with altogether. So that is really quite significant, because people did used to like those, and the benefit of it if you were flying like around New Zealand or whatever, that's all gone. And then from time to time there'll be sign-up bonuses, so that's also worth looking out. Plus also, if you do spend a lot of money on foreign exchange fees, then you'll find that Amex does have the highest amount. So that would be if you purchase something overseas, the commission is higher for Amex, whereas it's lower for the likes of the ANZ, which is this card here. That's just worth noticing because those differences do add up. What we've found is that we really are fans of the Amex card, largely because it is just earning twice as many Airpoints dollars per dollar spent, more or less. Plus, it's got other benefits around the insurance, and it's also got a whole bunch of other, things which the other cards don't offer anymore, like the lounge access. So it is something to consider. Certainly, we're not pushing the card. We want people to make an informed choice. But it's just come to a stage now where we're just seeing such a disparity between what the banks offer and what Amex offers, that we have put together this video. I put together this video to explain that. What you will notice is that you might be getting some notification from your bank saying we've changed our earning rates or whatever like that. People are then asked us, well, what should we do? The answer is, well, do you spend enough to even justify the card in the first place? Because if you're spending $150 or $195 or whatever for an annual fee, are you going to earn that amount of Airpoints? So the simplest thing is really just times what you spend in a year by the earning rate. So if you spend, $20,000, and then if you divide that, by 110, then you'll get to about, I think, 180, and that would break even the card fee. But then, would you really use the other benefits of it? And would it be easier just to not have a credit card at all if you are paying interest on it? So there's basically many things to consider, and we've put together some frequently asked questions. One of them is a popular question as well. Okay, will these rewards change from year to year? Certainly for the banks, they've changed. For Amex, it's stable, and the reason that is because Amex doesn't have the interchange issues that the Visa and MasterCard have, which means they can deal, they do deals direct with their merchants. So if they deal with the petrol stations directly, they deal with the supermarkets and independent retailers. That means that they can, honor what they say sort of year after year. Whereas with the law change in 2022 around the interchange fees, and you can see that sort of referred to below, then this is why it's become more expensive for the banks to offer the rewards, and so now they are not going to be able to offer them. Hence the disparity between the different platinum cards. There's plenty of questions around the acceptance rate. So first up, it's not going to be accepted everywhere if you have an Amex card. That's just the fact nature of it. You may be able to use them at a local restaurant that you like, but then if you go to your fruit store or your florist or your local cafe, then that may be a different story. That does tend to annoy some people with a card, but generally, we've got a guide for where they are accepted. You can use them widely throughout petrol stations, supermarkets, airlines, hotels, big retailers, things like that. So if you are doing that kind of spend, then it does, help to earn the Airpoints dollars. But if you are doing lots of kind of small spending or non sort of large chain spending or large supermarket spending, then there is certainly a less value in having such a card. But that's for you to consider. We can't advise on that, of course. And then another question is, people ask us, well, Westpac has an offer here, but I bank with ANZ. Have I got to bank with Westpac to be able to get the credit card? The answer there is no, but you will have to fill out a whole bunch of forms to be able to get the card, because that's just the way things are now with the CCCFA. So just do be aware that it's not so much a one form or one easy application now when a card's sent to you. There are a lot of questions around it, so that is something just to be aware of. So overall, we see that the Airpoints Platinum credit cards are in two areas or two camps. One of them is the American Express, which is $59 for one Airpoint dollar, and then you've got the banks, which is $110 or $115 for one Airpoint dollar. That's for the Platinum cards. Some of them, you have to spend more to be able to. Actually, most of them you have to be able to spend more. Some of them are like $200 for one Airpoint dollar. So that's really gone quite out there with where it once was. The fees generally are the same, and it's just something to be aware of, the fact that the fees may change at any time, but we don't see that there's going to be a sudden change now in the earning rates, just because so much has happened throughout 2022 and the start of 2023. So if you have any questions, do leave them in the comment section below. We want our guides to be as comprehensive and up to date as possible. So it's really important that if there are any questions or anything that we've missed, that you let us know, so we can enhance the guide and make it better for everybody else. Thanks very much, and do let me know if you have any questions.